Today we will be making heart-shaped Oreo cookies. Let's begin! In a large bowl, place 1 cup of softened butter, 1 cup of white sugar, and grab your handheld mixer and cream it until it's light and fluffy. Next, grab 1 egg, add it to the bowl, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and add it to the bowl. And you're going to continue mixing until everything's combined. Then in another bowl, add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of dark unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And grab your wire whisk and mix it. So once the dry ingredients are well combined, add it to the wet batter gradually. So it took me about 3 minutes to get everything combined, and it was really crumbly dough. So I refrigerated it for about 30 minutes before I started using it. And before I placed it in the refrigerator, I cut the dough into 2 pieces so it will be easier for me to roll out when I get it out of the refrigerator. After allowing it to sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, I took some parchment paper and a rolling pin and placed the parchment paper on the table and one on top, so it would be much easier to roll it out and handle the cookie dough. So once you get the desired thickness of the cookie dough, take out the top parchment paper and then grab your cookie cutter or your heart cookie cutter and press down into it. Like so. So once you're done cutting them, put them on the pan and you're going to bake it for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 minutes. Once it's finished, let it sit and then make the filling. Grab 1/2 cup of butter and watch me totally miss the spoon. 2 tablespoons of 50/50. If you don't have 50/50, use milk. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and add about a pinch of salt and grab your beater and you're going to cream it until it's fluffy. And then you're going to add about 2 cups of powdered sugar. Make sure you sift it before you add it. And then I placed it in a pastry bag and I used a star tip and just piped it onto the cookie. There's no specific way, just do it however you like and then place the other cookie on top. And then I just continued piping the cookies or piping the icing onto the cookie. It was actually really relaxing until the bag broke. Does anybody know of any other brand to use? I use the Wilton baggie to put the icing in. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and thank you to these people who requested to make Oreo cookies. Let me know in the comments. Hello guys! Today we will be making Pocky Strawberry Cake. Let's begin! So in the cake, I placed hearts inside by using cake mix, strawberry flavored, and I just followed the directions on the back. And once I did that, I placed it in a pan lined with parchment paper and I filled it almost halfway. I didn't want to overfill it just because it would be a little bit too puffy, just like the larger cake. It was a little bit too puffy. And then I took a cookie cutter and cut the cake with the cookie cutter. After I cut all the cakes, I placed them in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. And the cake pan that I used was this 8-inch cake pan. It was a little bit taller than most. And I really oiled it just because I really don't want the cake to stick to the pan. And I placed on the bottom some parchment paper so it will be even more easy to remove. For the white cake batter, I just used an old recipe that I have. I will link it in the description box. So first you're going to add some cake batter on the bottom and then place the heart on the cake batter. You can put as many hearts as you want. I put 6 because that's how much I could fit into this 8-inch pan. So once you're finished adding the hearts, add the rest of the cake batter. Now it looks like that the cake batter isn't covering all the hearts very well. Don't even worry about that because the cake will rise. So while that's baking, let's make the frosting. Add cream cheese, butter into a large bowl, some vanilla extract, and grab your beater and you're going to cream it. And then slowly add the powdered sugar. I added about 2 cups, but feel free to add up to 3 cups. And so once you're finished mixing it and it's become creamy, set that aside and let me tell you about Pocky. Pocky is an Asian snack that can be found in most Asian stores, and now I believe you can find these in grocery stores. So these Pocky sticks are actually, I think they're just crackers dipped in strawberry chocolate, and it's very addicting. I've eaten so many of these growing up. So here I have some strawberries, a whole bunch of Pocky sticks, and cream cheese. I took out the cake from the oven and it's nice and fluffy. Corners are a little bit away from the edges, which is just perfect. And then I took a knife and I just went around just to make sure that nothing stuck to the pan. So I placed the cake on a cookie rack and I removed the parchment paper, and look how perfect that is. This is actually the top of the cake. And I didn't cut the bottom because no one's gonna see it and I didn't want to waste cake. So I took the cream cheese frosting and frosted the cake. Now this is such an easy cake to make, anybody can do it. Honestly, I am not a pro baker, I only bake for fun. And so as much as possible, I try to make the cake simple, but yet very pleasing to the eye. So I just didn't really frost it that great. As you can see, there's some missing pieces, but that's okay. So what I did was take some strawberries and just decorated it on top of the cake how I wanted. And then I just fixed a few of the cream cheese frosting to make sure it covers the cake. And I continued decorating it. I had something else in mind, but this is what came out, so I decided to just go with it. Okay, the next part was my favorite part. I just placed the Pocky sticks around the frosted cake. You want to be very careful when doing this. In addition, don't put too much frosting on the side because some of it will come out between the Pocky sticks. And just work your way around the cake. So once you're finished, you can take a look to see if you can add any more. I decided not to because I was afraid that it will fall apart, but it was actually pretty sturdy. And what I did was took a ribbon and just tied it around the cake, but don't tighten it too tightly because you don't want the sticks to break. And I just left the ribbon hanging because I thought it just gave such a nice look to the cake. And we're finished. This cake was very simple to make. Anybody can do it just because the Pocky sticks pretty much cover all of the mess ups that you did in the cake. Now, I didn't cut the cake just because I wanted to admire it a little bit longer. I want to share with you how to make mini white chocolate strawberry pie. Now, strawberries and white chocolate is one of the most delicious combinations, especially when it's paired with an excellent pie crust recipe. Guys, your family and friends will love this pie. It's actually foolproof as well. Let's begin. All you need is 4 cups of all-purpose flour, some Crisco shortening, sugar, salt, water, and an egg. In a large bowl, you're going to whisk together the flour, sugar, and salt. Then you're going to add the shortening using a pastry cutter, blending it all together until crumbly. So set this bowl aside, and in another bowl, mix together the water and the egg, and then I gradually added it to the flour mixture. Then I mixed it with a spoon, or you can use your clean hands. So if you're not making the pie immediately, you can chill it in the refrigerator until it's ready to use. But since I'm going to use it immediately, you're going to grab about 4 or 5 inch round cookie cutter or a bowl, roll out the pie crust to about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick and cut into circles using the cookie cutter or a bowl. Place the pie crust in a greased muffin tin and bake in a 425 preheated oven for about 12 minutes if you're using the larger muffin tins. Once you remove the pie crust, go ahead and add some white chocolate chips. Set this aside and allow it to completely cool. And to make the filling, you will need strawberries, sugar, cornstarch, and water. So in a saucepan, you're going to add the strawberries and the sugar, and you're going to bring it up to a boil on medium-high heat, and then you're going to make sure to stir it. You do not want to burn this, and it's easy to burn if you don't keep an eye on it. So really quickly, whisk together some water and cornstarch, then gradually add it to the boiling strawberry mixture, and then you're going to turn the heat or turn the fire down to low, and you're going to allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes. Anyway, so now to finish up the pie, so pour the strawberry filling into the pie, chill, and then serve with whipped cream. And that's it! It's super easy, delicious, and great to take with you to parties. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a happy holidays with your family and friends, and I will see you on my next upload. To make macaroons, these were really fun to make, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Let's begin. The ingredients you will need is powdered sugar, almond flour, egg whites, sugar, and some food coloring. So in a stand mixer, you're going to add your egg whites, and you're going to beat it for about 30 seconds. Then I added the granulated sugar. Now you don't have to turn off your stand mixer, you can just add it right in while it is mixing. So after mixing for about 3 to 4 minutes, there should be stiff white peaks. That is what you're looking for. So set the egg whites aside and sift together the almond flour and the powdered sugar. And don't forget guys, you can find the complete recipe at my blog SimplyBakings.com. So once that's finished, we're going to slowly add the dry mixture into the egg whites. So I did it 3 times, so I added about probably 5 scoops. And then I took my spatula and I folded in the flour mixture. So now would be the time to add the food coloring. I used gel and I added about 2 drops. If you're going to be adding a lot of food gel, add it towards the beginning of when you add in the almond and powdered sugar, just because you're going to need to really mix it in. But since I didn't use that much, I was able to add it towards the end. So total of folding in everything was about 32 to 33 times. I find that for me, 33 times was enough to get the correct consistency for macaroons. So I added the macaroon batter into a piping bag and I piped it onto my mat. This mat was pretty easy to use. All you had to do was pipe in the inner circle. Once you're done piping, tap the tray about 5 or 6 times to get out all the air bubbles. Let it sit for 30 minutes. Bake the macaroons at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're using a silpat mat or a mat like this, it's going to take about 23 to 25 minutes to bake. Once it's done baking, allow it to cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the macaroons should easily pull off the mat just like that. For the filling, I just used my chocolate buttercream. I will link that in the description box. And this was my favorite part, piping the buttercream onto the macaroons and placing the second macaroon on top of the other macaroon. Macaroons are a bit of a challenge, but they do take a lot of practice. It took me, I think, 6 times to get it like this, and I still think I can make it better. I will be making more macaroons in the future, so let me know in the comments also what type of macaroon would you like me to make. Happy baking! Thanks for staying till the end. I really hope you guys enjoy these types of videos, and if you do, let me know in the comments by writing more videos like these. Thanks for watching. Bye guys!